So now if a reptilian consciousness in a human body, which even the Bible refers to as wolves dressed in sheep clothing, let's say they die, can they reincarnate now that the earth is shifting? Because I heard that the reincarnation cycle has stopped. What can you tell us about that?
Well, that's another interesting point. David and I discussed, and this, of course, it's nothing new. The reincarnation cycle and the question how to get out of it is nothing new. I mean, in the Eastern philosophies and religions, this is common. It's been taken out of the Bible. It's been taken out of Christianity, reincarnation as a concept, but it was there before. I do believe that even the Native Americans in their traditions talk about the fake light, the trap, when you pass over and when you leave this physical body. Of course, people that speak about NDEs talk about this bright light, and they go to the light. It feels so good, and their relatives are there, and that's where they're drawn to, and then they have these experiences, and they come back, which is important to note. They actually come back. It's another form of reincarnation. They come back to their physical body and they tell the story. And our teacher from the Wolf Clan here in the United States, an American Indian teacher, he's teaching. He's bringing the wisdom. That's his medicine, his wisdom, and he's teaching my wife and I about it. And he told us the same thing. He said, "Don't go into the light. The light's a trap. The light will keep you in a constant cycle of coming back, So I don't know if there is. I don't think there is a collective end to this. I don't think we just pass a certain date and there's no more karma and there's no more reincarnation. I do think it's an individual consciousness journey, and it's up to us to overcome the forgetfulness and also to overcome the ego, which keeps us here, right? The ego, the materialistic, the fear-based, the reptilian-based existence keeps us in this loop. So that's why I think we need to live our lives from a higher consciousness. And also, very, very important, I think today, birth is trauma. A lot of how birth happens in a hospital under the same setting that people have that come in from a bad accident is the same setting for a woman that gives birth. It's horrific. So birth is trauma today, and death for most people is trauma also, because they die alone in some hospital or in some nursing home somewhere, usually treated very badly towards the end. And so I believe that is a on purpose. So we don't actually leave this body happy and joyful and in gratitude and peace with our loved ones around us. So we are not in a balanced state. Our spirit's not in a balanced state. And then we go through all this again and again and again. So I think there's a lot for us to figure out here and to change on Earth, so we can actually, all of us, exit this cycle. Because, man, I don't want to keep coming back to this kind of Earth unless we can change it. I don't want to keep coming back here.
Absolutely. Well, Earth is very unique. They consider us to be very unique. We have the ability to create, to manifest things that they can't do. That's why they love and they want to take this place from us. I say that they want to hijack Earth. This is what the New World Order is. They want to hijack Earth from humanity and use the minority, 500 million under, as written on the guidestones, as slaves, So tell me about the split that we're going through now with the old Earth and the new Earth and the energies and how we're shifting in consciousness. So, yeah, explain that to me, and then I have more questions.
Well, what people are going through right now, I believe, in my observation, is very, very unique. Because it's happening on such a massive collective level. It used to be, I don't know how long you've been on this journey, but for me, I've never been really fully programmed, so I never really considered myself part of the sleepers, if you will. And I'm never saying this, in a condescending way. It's just an observation. But I used to remember we would go out, and my wife and I do something 10, 15 years ago. And on a very rare occasion, you can have a conversation about deeper subjects, about higher consciousness, about what you just said. We're manifestors, we're creators, or about the political conspiracies, or about the New World Order, all this stuff. Today, man, you can go anywhere, anytime. You can go to any grocery store. I can promise you, there's going to be 5 to 10 people in there who have similar thoughts than you. And if you then, take that and see what that means in the whole world, I think it's exponential. People are having consciousness shifts, and I think it's the more we raise our vibration, the more we project that into the field. We're all connected, and the more the field reflects it back to us. And so it's a feedback loop that keeps going up and up and up. And that's why so many people can't bring themselves to return to an old way of living. They can't bring themselves to go back to the rut, go back to the 9 to 5 hamster wheel, go back to being asleep and just, fill out forms, pay your taxes, and die. Basically, people can't do that anymore. They don't know exactly what else they're supposed to do, but they're exploring. They're asking the questions, right? I mean, our movement of, if you will, I think you're an artist too. You're a musician, right?
Yeah, a long time ago. I've always been a singer since I was the age of 5, 6. And, I loved music. I love singing and dancing.
So there you go. I'm an artist and songwriter too. You know how many people I know that are artists and songwriters and other kind of artists that are dedicating their lives to doing what you and I do, and speaking to people and bringing truths and bringing wisdom out to the people. This is the calling of this time and of this age. And we're in this pioneer stage. I think this new civilization, which is actually not new, I think it's our original culture. I think we're returning to the ways that we were intended to live. And we are the pioneers right now. It's hard. It's freaking hard because, one side of this earth, or one side of the people, or one half, if you want to call it that, I don't know the numbers, is still fast, or very fast, kind of fast asleep, and the other side is ready to go. And so we have this push and pull and push and pull. And when people say it's already done, we already won, and I say, yeah, I don't quite think we're there yet. But at the same time, we're also unstoppable because of this feedback loop. So while it is important to uncover everything, it is important that we finally realize what the truth is about this cabal, about how we've been manipulated. That's highly important. I also believe it's equally, if not even more important, to create new visions, to see a beautiful, healthy, happy family on Earth, to see a happy and a healthy planet, to see a coexistence, a harmonious with nature and animals. So all these things are highly important, and we as co-creators need to become aware of that. So this split, in some ways, or many ways, has already happened. It's irreversible. Now the question is, will we just create 2 civilizations, one which will be completely artificial and the other which will be natural? Or will we actually find a common path and move together into a unified future? That's to be determined. I would much prefer that, but if it's the first version, I'll still go with it. And this split, as I said, it's irreversible, but it requires of all of us to show up every day, show up in spirit. Do not give in to the fear and the lies and the deception that's that we're being bombarded with, but rather seek connection with the Creator. With the beautiful, wonderful Creator that created all of what is, truly all that is. And this connection will lead us into this future. It will move us through the war. It will move us into peace, and it will move us into an abundance and prosperity we can't even imagine yet.